Day 6 speech part 2. By way of example, let's say it's an average day. You get up in the morning, go to your challenging job, and you work hard for 9 or 10 hours, and at the end of the day you're tired and you're stressed out, and all you want to do is go home and have a good supper and maybe unwind for a couple of hours, and then hit the rack early because you have to get up the next day and do it all over again. But then you remember there's no food at home because you haven't had time to shop this week because of your challenging job. So now after work you have to get in your car and drive to the supermarket. It's the end of the workday and the traffic's very bad, so getting to the store takes way longer than it should, and when you finally get there, the supermarket's very crowded because, of course, it's the time of day when all the other people with jobs also try to squeeze in some grocery shopping. And the store's hideously fluorescently lit and infused with soul-killing music or corporate pop, and it's pretty much the last place you want to be, but you can't get in and out quickly. You have to wander all over these huge, overlit stores' crowded aisles to find the stuff you want. And you have to maneuver your junky cart through all these other tired, hurried people with carts. And of course, there's the glacially slow old people and the spacey people and the ADHD kids who block the aisle, and you have to grit your teeth and try to be polite as you ask them to let you buy. And eventually, finally, you get all your supper supplies, except now it turns out there aren't enough checkout lines open, even though it's the end of the day rush, so the checkout line is incredibly long, which is stupid and infuriating, but you can't take out your fury in the frantic lady working the register. Anyway, you finally get to the checkout line's front, and you pay for your food and wait to get your check or card authenticated by a machine and get told to have a nice day in a voice that's the absolute voice of death. And then you have to take your creepy, flimsy plastic bags of groceries in your cart through the crowded, bumpy, littery parking lot and try to load your bags in the car in such a way that everything doesn't fall out of the bags and roll around in the trunk on the way home. And then you have to drive all the way home through the slow, heavy, SUV-intensive rush hour traffic, etc., etc. The point is, the petty, frustrating crap like this is exactly where the work of choosing comes in. Because the traffic jams and crowded aisles and long checkout lines give me time to think, if I don't make a conscious decision about how to think and what to pay attention to, I'm going to be pissed and miserable every time I have to food shop. Because my natural default setting is the certainty that situations like this are really all about me. About my hungriness and my fatigue and my desire just to get home, and it's going to seem for all the world like everyone else is in my way. And who are all these people in my way? And look how repulsive most of them are, and how stupid and cow-like and dead-eyed and non-human they seem here in the checkout line, or how it's annoying and rude it is that people are talking loudly on their cell phones in the middle of the line, and look how deeply unfair all this is. I've worked really hard all day, and I'm starved and tired, and I can't even get home to eat and unwind because of all these stupid GD people. Of course, if I'm in a more socially conscious form of my default setting, I can spend my time at the end of the day traffic jam being angry and disgusted at all the huge, stupid, lane blocking SUVs and Hummers and V12 pickup trucks burning their wasteful, selfish 40-gallon tanks of gas, and I can dwell on the fact that the patriotic or religious bumper stickers always seem to be on the biggest, most disgustingly selfish vehicles driven by the ugliest, most inconsiderate and aggressive drivers who are always talking on their cell phones as they cut people off in order to get just 20 stupid feet ahead of them in a traffic jam. And I can think about how our children's children will despise us for wasting all the future's fuel and probably screwing up the climate, and how stupid and spoiled and disgusting we all are, and how it all just sucks, and so on and so forth. Look, if I choose to think this way, fine, lots of us do. Except that thinking this way tends to be so easy and automatic that it doesn't have to be a choice. Thinking this way is my natural default setting. It's the automatic, unconscious way that I experience the boring, frustrating, crowded parts of adult life when I'm operating on the automatic, unconscious belief that I am the center of the world, and that my immediate needs and feelings are what should determine the world's priorities. The thing is that there are obviously different ways to think about these kinds of situations. In this traffic, all the vehicles stuck and idling in my way, it's not impossible that some of these people in SUVs have been in horrible auto accidents in the past, and now find driving so traumatic that the therapist has all but ordered them to get a huge, heavy SUV so they can feel safe enough to drive. Or the Hummer that just cut me off is being driven by a father whose little child is hurt or sick in the seat next to him, and he's trying to rush to the hospital, and he's in a way bigger, more legitimate hurry than I am. It's actually I who am in his way. Or I can force myself to consider the likelihood that everyone in the supermarket checkout line is just as bored and frustrated as I am, and that some of these people probably have much harder, more painful, or tedious lives than I do overall. Stop there.